All right, we're getting close. We are 3 weeks away. What's today, Jim? Is it a Thursday?
Today's Thursday, the 11th.
Okay, 21 days is 3 weeks plus 2. We are 23 days out. Snapdragon Stadium. I want to say single-game tickets go on sale on Monday, by the way. I have no idea how many single-game tickets are going to remain for that opener. Very few. That game's going to sell out in a heartbeat. And we're going to be joined in a moment by Jesse Matthews. What a year he had for San Diego State last season, the outstanding wide receiver. I mean, just an unbelievable finish to 2021. What a year San Diego State had last year. 12-2 last year. School record for most wins in a season. And great to catch up with Jesse Matthews right off the practice field here tonight with us here on the home of the Aztecs, Xtra 1360 and John and Jim. So, Jesse, thank you so much for taking some time for us here today. What's it been like for you establishing a relationship with your new quarterback, Braxton Burmeister? How's that gone for you?
Oh, it's been great. The second I heard that he was transferring over to San Diego State, I got his number, texted him, told him I wanted to start working with him, developing that chemistry. And ever since January, we've been really just working together, getting that timing down. He's been my lifting partner this whole time, so we've developed a good relationship so far, and I'm looking forward to transferring it onto the field as we have these last few days of practice.
Is it important, Jesse? You mentioned the fact that the relationship. Is it important to establish a good relationship off field with the quarterback? Does that carry over to on field?
Yeah, I think so. I think definitely it does. Knowing the man that you're going to battle with, knowing who he is, knowing how he is when he's up, when he's down, how to cater to him, how to just interact with him. I think that's very important, especially when we're spending so much time together on the field. It's important to know the person off the field as well.
Jesse, it feels like it's been forever since you guys have played a football game here in San Diego. Snapdragon, we're less than a month away from the opening of the stadium. What does it mean to you that you finally get a chance to play at the Snapdragon Stadium and then also coming back to San Diego?
It means everything. Just this whole process really coming together, coming back from my senior year, the 100th season of Aztecs football, opening a brand new stadium. It just feels like everything's really coming together. And I'm so stoked to be back home in San Diego in front of my family and all my friends. And just to get the opportunity to open up that brand new stadium is such a blessing. And it's something that I'm going to look back on one day and realize how special it was for me to be a part of that.
Have you been able to tour the stadium yet? Have you guys been able to get in there, or has it still been like, we're waiting for you guys to see it?
No, we've gotten there one time. I want to say about 3 months ago, when there was still gravel on the ground in the stadium, and they're still finishing up some of the outside areas. But even when it was in that state, it was still immaculate. It was really incredible just being in that atmosphere, seeing how they designed the stadium. I've seen all the renderings this whole time, and to see it in real life with my own eyes was something that was very special, and I got chills when I walked inside of it. So just even thinking about that stadium on September 3rd when we opened it up against Arizona, the atmosphere, the fans, the noise, it gives me chills right now just thinking about it.
It's going to be special. Jesse Matthews, outstanding receiver for San Diego State, with us right now, and John and Jim. I mean, what a finish, Jesse, to your season last year. Final 4 games, 37 catches, 465 yards, 7 touchdowns. I do want to get into that, but I do want to follow up with Snapdragon Stadium because you're out of San Diego. You're a San Diegan. You played at Christian High. Does that make it extra special to be a part of something like this that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to open a brand-new stadium?
Yeah, I think it does add something special for me. Like I touched on before, I think in a few years when I can kind of reflect back and think about how special this moment is, I'll be able to appreciate it more. But right now I'm kind of just in the moment and, going one day at a time. But I think in a few years when I can look back and say, I was a part of the first team to play in that new stadium in San Diego after we've been gone for 2 years, I'll really, really appreciate it. And I'm still very excited to be a part of that.
John just ripped off your stats to end last year. You were one of the most productive wide receivers in the nation down the stretch. For you, I know, obviously, the team is the number one goal for expectations in a season. Doesn't matter what stats you get, as long as you guys win at the end of the day. That's what matters most. But for you personally, secondarily, what are your expectations for yourself this year?
My expectations are to be a leader for this team, We have a young receiver core besides, a few guys. So my expectations for myself are to be a leader, set the example, and do everything I can to make this team a championship team, bring a good mindset. And that's really what I'm focused on. All the personal accolades will come if I take care of that. So that's been my mindset this year and going into this season.
Jesse, you mentioned some of the younger receivers, but just some of the group in general. Like, who should we keep our eye on in addition to you? Tyrell Shavers, obviously. Breon Penny is still a young player. I mean, what are your expectations for that group, and who else could pay dividends for your team this year?
Yeah, we got a lot of talent in this receiver room. Like you mentioned, Tyrell Shavers, who transferred from Alabama, 6'6", 210 pounds. The kid's a freak. So I'm really expecting him to have a huge season, surprise a lot of people. We got P.J. Sullivan, who's battled through so much, and I think he's gonna have a great season as well. Breon Penny, who's really coming into his own. He's also a freak athlete, comes from obviously a great bloodline. But to see him develop and hone in his receiver skills. You got Mekhi Shaw, who's also a San Diego kid, who reminds me a lot of myself. Just his ball skills and his route running and his attention to detail. Darius Salas Reyes, another San Diego kid, who's just quick, gets open, and does a lot of great things. So we have a lot of young talent that it's my responsibility and Coach Coop's responsibility to help develop them, give them good words of encouragement, and just lead by example, really.
Jesse, you go up against the San Diego State defense every single day in practice. As you know from your time on the Mesa, this is one of the nation's elite defenses consistently. I'm not talking about Group of Five or Mountain West, just in the nation across FBS football. What is it like to go up against that unit day in and day out, especially during fall camp?
I think it's a blessing to go against defense that's that just that great and has that great of a mindset and scheme, and they challenge us every day. So I think that opportunity is a blessing. And once you get to the games, I'm not going to say it's easier, but it's definitely an advantage going against such a great defense every day. And even as a freshman, when I walked on here and I was going against the ones every day and scout team, I think that was a huge part of my success and my development. Just going against those guys every day, seeing the best of the best. And then, once you get to the game, it's like, all right, I've seen these guys. I've seen guys like this before. I've seen what a great defense can be. So I think it's a blessing to go against them every day.
Jesse, we appreciate the time. We know you're just off the practice field. We are 23 days out from San Diego State, Arizona, Snapdragon Stadium. Thank you so much for your time. Best of luck at the start of the year, and we'll do it again soon.
Thanks, Jesse.
Of course. Thank you for having me on.